Y'all told me how you love my ranking videos, so we are back with the ranking, and we are ranking all of my Pat Mcgrath palettes, and I'm not dividing that into Mothership and not Mothership. I took all of them that I have, put them in a pile, and sorted them from least favorite to favorite. And we're going to rank 11 different Pat Mcgrath palettes. And I just had to put the hair up because it's so fucking warm. And since we're currently all very obsessed with the new Barbie movie, I want to call that look Dead Barbie Risen Up from Hell. My least favorite Pat Mcgrath palette is probably no surprise to you, but it's the new, what's it called? Passion Fleur Quad. Not that it's not pretty, it is, but it's just not my vibe, as you can probably tell. I also don't think that the quality is matching up with other like palettes from the Mothership line. It's a nice quad, but you can create like one look and that's it. Is it worth the money? I think it's 60 bucks. No, just no. On number 10 we're talking about a Christmas palette, and this is the Celestial Odyssey, and I think this is 2021. Yeah, that must be the Mothership 2021, and let me open that. So yeah, it's not that it's not good in quality, because it truly is, but the color story is so random, it's hard to pull up like a variation of looks. You have, let me count, 1, 2, you have 4 mattes, 2 browns and 2 pinks. But then you also have these pretty pops of colors, the greens, but and this turquoise shade. It's not vibing, you know? But I do enjoy using it, so that's why I'm not going to declutter it. It's a beautiful palette, but I feel like there is something missing that's just putting this palette in the 10th place. Number 9, another Christmas palette, and that is the one from 2020. And this is a bit special because, as far as I know from my research, this Pat Mcgrath Mothership Celestial Divinity has both of the Star Wars 6-pan palettes in it that were like sold out in, I don't know, 5 minutes or whatever. I'm not into Star Wars, so I don't really care for that, but I like the color story. And even though you have only 3 mattes, they kind of work better together. So this is also another palette that I could use on its own, so I need like some companion matte shades in this. But because of the whole combination with the mattes and with these, like, look at this red. Stunning. Look at this gold. The fucking nunning. Stunning. That purple, everything in this palette is just much more better executed than in this one. So last year's holiday collection was quite wild because we had a big palette and we had a few small palettes. And I bought both of the quints that Pat Mcgrath came out with, but one of them I decluttered, and at number 8 is the one that survived the declutter, and that is the Bronze Bliss one. Like, come on. In these ranking videos I will not swatch anything because it just takes forever, but let me just show you one shade of this. It's the middle one. It's called Lunar Luxury. Let me do the beautiful swatch. Oh, I don't know what exactly this is with the shade, but all I can think of now is putting the shade all over my goddamn face. Other than that, Pat Mcgrath introduced in these quints a new formula that she kind of did not hold up to. So in their latest Star Wars collection, I don't know, 3 months ago or whatever, they had 5-pan palettes too, and I bought the, which one was it? I don't know how those peeps from Star Wars are called. The black one. The one with the helmet. Darth Vader. That one I bought because it had a very nice red tone in there and it looked really cool, but what it ended up with is being a smaller Mothership 6 with worse quality. And that was really disappointing, so I decluttered that too. And the quality in these, like for example, these 2 shades, so Lunar Luxury and Bronze Illusion, I'm 100% sure that these are a new formula from her. The other ones are very standard, and the matte of course is good. But these 2, they're like creamy metal shades, but in a powder form. Number 7, another Christmas one, and that is the one from last year, and that knocked me off the socks. I mean, who's Pat McGrath? She heard us. Everybody was bitching around like, stop doing the pink, stop doing the browns, give us something fun, and this is fun. And this palette got bashed like so bad. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You all asked for that, so now you have to live with that. The only thing you should know is that the green, the blue, and the red will stay in your eye. So they will leave a green cast, for example, on your skin, but that basically rubs off overnight, so I don't care about that. And these bigger Christmas palettes are a good way to branch out into Pat McGrath because they sell around like €80 and you get 18 shades usually. And if you can wait a couple of weeks, they are even discounted to like 40 or €50 very fast. Now let's go into the real Mothership palettes. Number 6 in the ranking, and therefore also my least favorite Mothership, is why am I holding up the palette? They look all the same. It's Mothership X. I don't know what it is with this palette, but it is so boring. Not even looking at it makes me happy. It is what it is. But I still like it more than the other palettes in the ranking, so therefore I definitely am going to keep this. I think the biggest disappointment to me is that usually these 4 shades, these are her baked formula. They are like baked gelée. But in the Mothership X, for the first time, they were pressed. And that is completely different on the eye. Are these pretty? I mean, oh yes. Look at this one. Let me just read. This is Astra Lilac Aura. This is a shade I want to eat. You know, I want to lick over it. This on top, VR Saxacy. This duochrome from brown to green to blue, whatever that is. That's just classic. We love that. But something is just throwing me off in this palette, so that's why it's only number 6 in the ranking and my least favorite Mothership palette. Number 5, and that was actually the first Mothership palette that I got. Mothership number 7. But I think I forgot the name. Mothership 10 is called Moonlit Seduction and Mothership 7 is Divine Rose. This was the first one that I got and I absolutely fell in love with this shade. This is Astral Solstice. This is another one of those shades that I want to eat. You know, every Mothership palette in the, like, when you hold them like that, in the right lower corner is a very special shade because it's glittery and beautiful. But I mean, look at the color story. It's boring, but it's pretty. So that's why it's number 5. 10 points for Slytherin if you can tell me what Mothership that is. But I'm going to tell you anyway. This is Mothership 5 Bronze Seduction and it's impossible to not love this. Especially, again, the 4 shades are what makes it so special. And this red, which is called Blitz Flame, is so stunning. You can apply it quite sheer, so it's not like you have a red punched eye, but you can also build it up to make it a red punched eye, but in the most sophisticated way possible. Now let's talk about my personal top 3 of Pat McGrath palettes and therefore the top 3 Motherships. Number 3, Mothership 9 Utopian Dream is just a delightful piece of makeup, not only to look at but also to use. Everything in this palette is just so well executed that I want to take off my makeup and apply this now. The second and the first place, again, like with the Natasha Denona ranking, if you ask me tomorrow, I will probably switch it. But for now, in my current mood, the second place is Mothership 8 Divine Rose 2. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I rank my palettes, and actually this one has, when you just go by the numbers, the first place because of quality, of color story and personal excitement. But again, it's a mood thing, and today I'm feeling like this is only the second place in the Motherships. Look at these beautiful shades, and this pink is outstanding. This will transform every look, and it even works with the duochrome. I don't know how the camera picks it up because this duochrome is one of those that is shifting from pink to green, and I think in the camera it's appearing more pink, but when I look at it, it's definitely green. The gold, stunning. This shade, fantastic, delicious, just awesome. And my mood today is very, very midnight sunny. So my today's and maybe even tomorrow's or also next week's, but as I said, it can change like any second. But currently my favorite Mothership palette is Mothership VI Midnight Sun. I know this got a lot of bad critique during the Star Wars launch because everything that Pat McGrath did was take this palette, put a shiny sticker on it that says Star Wars. I mean, that was just like really bad marketing, but the palette itself is the most stunning out of them all. This shade down here, Astra Solstice, is the same as in Divine Rose in the first one, like Mothership XI, which I am actually not mad about because the shade is so pretty. I want to have it in every single Pat McGrath palette. And you see, this is also my most used one, or this looks like the most beaten up in that corner. The blue and the gold, together with the mattes, with these reddish and warm browns, a little bit of a cool toned moment, a green metallic. Oh. If you had to buy only one Mothership palette, go for Mothership VI. And I know everybody loves the luxurious packaging, but let me tell you what happens when you use a Mothership palette a lot. Could use a little bit of oil. There you have it. That is the current ranking of the Pat McGrath palettes. Maybe if I would come back in a year after Mothership XI was released, which I'm hoping is going to be very soon, maybe then I will change my mind. Maybe Mothership XI will be the next big thing in the Pat McGrath, and I really wish it is, because Mothership X is such a letdown to me and to a lot of other people. While I know a good friend of me, she's like obsessed with Mothership X. Fine, good to you, not for me. But I'm kind of hoping something like Mothership VI, but on crack. And yes, I am missing 4 Mothership palettes. I do not own Mothership 1, 2, 3 and 4. I actually had Mothership 3, I think it was the 3, because of Morgan Turner makeup, because this is her favorite palette. And when she did a video on it, I was like, okay, I need to try that. And then I bought it used on eBay, and it was the worst palette I've ever used. Everything went on patchy, the shades looked like shit. There was just no way to me to make this work, and I decluttered it after like 3 uses again and resold it on eBay, so that was a big letdown. But are you a Pat McGrath fan? Let me know. What is your favorite palette from the brand? Is it in here? Is it maybe something completely different that I haven't looked into yet? So thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.